What's good, everyone? Looks like I left my long legs on. Much better. I bet you can't guess what I'm reviewing today. So, first, obviously, this movie has been way overhyped. I don't really blame people for overhyping it because the marketing was really fantastic. When I first saw all of those like short teasers, uh, it kind of became one of my most hyped movies of the year. And then the movie came out and everyone's saying it's overhyped, and that helped manage my expectations for the movie. I still thought it was really good. I don't think it was great. I don't think it's like best of the year, but I think it's really good. I also don't think this movie is the scariest of the year. I didn't find it to be scary at all. There were disturbing moments, disturbing imagery, and I think some of those images that they have in this movie were they could have been scary, but then they put them on screen for like half a second. A lot of them were in those short teasers, and part of what made them so good made you just think that the movie is going to be really scary, and then that's about all the movie offers in terms of being more than just a bit disturbing. So it'd be cool if there's more of that in there, but I don't really like having seen the movie. There wasn't really a reason to have more of that. I think the movie's pretty good as it is. I think the only thing I would change is some stuff with the ending. There's a bit at the end, like you think the movie's over and they're gonna roll credits, and there's like a little tag there, and maybe it could have worked as a post-credit scene, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit weird, and then the actual ending itself was kind of abrupt, but I also get why the director did it. I saw in an interview he said the character's journey is over at that moment where he cuts to the credits, and there's a little bit there's some questions that you have that don't really need to be answered, but it's kind of like that was a bit of an abrupt ending, but it also makes sense why it ended that way. I did find this movie to be very predictable. I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs or any of those like 90s serial killer movies that inspired this movie. I haven't really seen many movies like this just in general, but I still found it predictable for some reason. Even down to like the strangest details where like those little metal balls where you're like, what do those do? Are those even significant at all? Like, as soon as I see them, I'm like, oh, and then I piece the whole thing together. Like, try not to spoil it, but when he puts, the doctor puts like the sound thing on there, it goes like whatever. I immediately figured it out, which I feel like I've seen the trick they do in like some sci-fi movie somewhere. I couldn't tell you what, but I figured out what it does like immediately, and so yeah, I didn't think any of the twists really worked too much, but they seem to be working for everyone else. And by they didn't work, I mean they didn't really surprise me. I mean, on a story level, like, yeah, it works. It's all good. I think it all comes together very nicely. I just saw it all coming. Now, I think this movie has like really good direction and editing. It's very stylized, very kind of artsy. It's like one of those. It's like the one movie we get a year that's sort of an art house film, and it just goes really mainstream for whatever random reason. But you get those different shots intermittently throughout the movie where the aspect ratio changes and it goes from wide to like this little box, and those shots are all like just really well done. Like, it's shot well and it's visually interesting. The way this movie uses like reds and blacks all look very stylish. As for the performances, we've got Nick Cage in here. Obviously, he's really great in this. It's one of his best performances. Some people have criticized the like makeup prosthetics on his face. It worked for me. I didn't really like see anything wrong with it. I kind of get how it's Nicolas Cage, and so when you see that, it's just like, oh, that looks wrong, because in my mind I still see Nicolas Cage, and so like when his like nose is slightly different shaped and he has all the makeup on and everything, I can see how it's a little bit weird and it doesn't work for everyone. It worked for me though. I thought looked great. I thought his performance was great. uh, on one hand though, I don't want to say he overcooked it because it's Nick Cage, but I didn't find his performance as eerie, creepy, disturbing as everyone else seemed to. What I said out of theater was I would have been really creeped out by it if I wasn't so busy laughing. Where I just thought everything he did was really funny. And like it is creepy, but it's just really funny. I couldn't stop laughing at it. Part of it has to do with like his dialogue, which is just incredible. It's just Nick Cage is great. I love Nick Cage, but I don't know. I just can't. I couldn't take him seriously most of the time. Then you go to Micah Monroe, which I've never even heard of her, seen her anything, but she was getting hyped up a lot for this movie. I haven't seen It Follows, and she does good in this movie. It's a little bit hard to judge if her performance is like really great or fine because her character is inherently stoic and just kind of like stares blankly, doesn't talk a lot, very quiet, reserved character, but she did pretty good in this movie. As for the rest of the supporting cast, like the chief of police, whatever he was, I can't remember his name. He was really good. I liked him a lot in this movie. There was a Bill Clinton painting in his office, and like as soon as it popped up, I just started laughing. Like it's so obvious. Like everything in this movie is so dark and dimly lit, and the picture of Bill Clinton is just so bright. It just made my friends laugh a bunch at it. But yeah, overall, I really liked the movie. It didn't blow me away or anything. I don't even know if it's something I'd watch again, but it was still really good. It was really well made overall. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And that's really all I got for Longlegs. Thanks for watching.